We are the A.K.A. Theater. We've had our theater now for about a year. We just did the Empire Builders. All the proceeds from this will go to help us do our next show, which should be Endgame. I think sometime in the fall. And of course, you're all invited. And we have a mailing list. I'm starting over there on this table, so you can all find me. And my name is Werner Trishman. Okay, so just so you know, we're going to be doing some stage reading, some theater pieces. We've got some people reading, Lori Bacher's going to be reading some poetry. We've got Amy Fusselman's going to be reading some poetry. And we got the Rolling Stones, a surprise guest appearance. Yeah, they're going to be, the Who said they'd come on and jam together. That starts about 10:20, and that'll go on for like 20 minutes or so. Then we've got band's Puppet Show and Bundestag are going to appear later on. We got a whole big nutty lineup for all you wonderful folks. And right now, we're going to be reading a little theater piece created by myself and Mr. Paul Bay. And the title is called ARG. Okay, gang, let's get on up here. All right. Time, the present. Setting, the Cambridge office. 4 pirates.
Hey, how many more interviews do we have today?
I think that was the last.
I didn't like the cut of his jib. I didn't really see anyone I liked.
You're a liar, Herman. A liar.
A knock at the door.
Arr, a knock at the door. Come on aboard if you're manly enough.
Hi, I'm here about your ad in the Phoenix.
Arr, a wench. Arr, a lassie.
Are a dame.
Octopus. You never ate an octopus. I ate an octopus. It tastes just like chicken.
That's Dame Lassie, cast off. Only manly men of the sea allowed in these quarters.
Listen, your ad says clearly looking for brawny, tough, seaworthy individuals for manly adventures. Ready to ride the rough white sea foam for fun and profit. Must be willing to endure masculine hardships enough to make a manly man weep.
Arr, but he won't.
We are looking for a good man, equal opportunity employer. That's what it says.
Is that what it says, skirt?
Wench.
Poodle.
Think Barney.
Yes, equal opportunity employer.
Arr, we lied.
Arr, shove off, so before we tell another one, Scarta.
I find this really offensive.
We don't care. We're pirates.
Manly, masculine, smelly, manly, seaworthy, swarthy pirate.
Call you Ishmael. Call you liar is more like it.
That, sitting over there.
That lass is old one-eye, the orneriest, saltiest, oldest sea dog ever there was. He ain't much help on ship, but we keep him aboard for good luck. Besides, he knows all the words to South Pacific.
Arr, that Rogers and Hammerstein.
All the songs except there ain't nothing like a dame. We made him forget that one.
Nothing like a dame. Nothing in the world.
What are pirates doing with an office in Harvard Square?
It's a seaport, isn't it?
We fought those copy cops, tooth and nail. 47 days, the cannons blazed, and the water coolers were red
Right
with blood.
down, peg leg. It's centrally located, right next to the T in Ben and Jerry. We captured 4 boxes of paper clips and 2 Rolex watches that weren't seaworthy.
Look the octopus on a cracker.
Timexes, now there's a seaworthy watch.
Aye, but you can't come aboard because you're a woman.
Bits are saltine. It don't matter. The fabulous thing about octopus.
A buccaneer with boobies? Impossible.
A swashbuckler in a skirt? Never.
Why not?
Shiver me timber, shiver me timber, shiver me timber. Arr, arr.
Sorry.
Arr, arr, arr.
Cut the crap. What's wrong with a woman pirate?
Everything. They walk funny.
They're not seaworthy.
Hey, they sink like rocks.
They do not.
Listen to her. Her she's not seaworthy. Shiver me, shiver me, shiver me, shiver me, shiver me, shiver me.
Shut up, Herman, you talk too much.
Who are you kidding?
It's just a whale.
Nobody says shiver me timbers anymore. Ever since I was a little scallywag, I wanted the roving life of a pirate. I wanted to face danger like a pirate. What kind of danger is there in Cambridge?
The waitresses.
I like a pack of sea devils.
You're not pirates, you're chauvinistic, homophobic pigs. What have you captured besides paper clips?
Well, last week we rode a swan boat without paying.
But you couldn't have done it 'cause you ain't seaworthy.
Seaworthy.
One eye. Yes. What kind of booty do you have that you don't shake?
All right, you guys, let me ask you one question.
Is it about the sea?
Where did you get those shoes?
Oh my God, you wouldn't believe it. Marked down 40% at Jordan Marsh. And I took them without paying. Ran the sales cart through with my scabbard. I mean, the old baby Blue beat out a couple of skirts for the last pair. Then we took them down to the Charles River and threw them in.
They weren't seaworthy.
Shiver me timbers, shiver me timbers, shiver me timbers.
I don't know, maybe I should have been an accountant.
How do you know he's seaworthy?
Show the last baby Blue.
Show the skirt that you're a seaworthy man.
Baby Blue dances the hornpipe.
Feast your eyes on that, you unmanly barnacle.
That ain't a hornpipe. This is a hornpipe.
Laura dances the hornpipe.
Strike me dead, peg-leg. That's pretty damn seaworthy.
Hey, so it is.
Oh, pirates, start dancing.
Where'd you get that dress?
The end. Thank you for listening to the Orange Skits. Okay. These are all various performers we're going to see later, and you'll probably pick up a guitar with the Who when they come on. 10:30. They promise. 10:30, and I think, yeah. Okay. Right now, we have wonderful poetry, fiction writer. Her name is Lori Ambacher, and she needs no introduction. Believe me. Put her in there for Lori Ambacher.
Last time I read a poem, I dropped them in the toilet about 2 hours before I had to read. I had to fish them out and dry them off and take them the way they were. And that's how my poetry always goes. In the Globe, they advertise this as a fiction reading, but I've decided to read poetry. I hope you don't care. First poem I'm going to read is called Just This Once. It's for two of my friends, Deb and Lisa, who are somewhere in the dark out there. Just this once. Loneliness is a bar in Key West, where all the beautiful gay men look straight past you at each other. Loneliness, the color of the blue margarita you're holding. You're lonely in a pale blue dress of which your father would not approve, because it shows too much of your long, freckled legs. And if anything happened to you, the cops would say, you were asking for it. The therapist would say the dress showed a need for a father's approval, that you were wearing it for the shade of blue, and for the man you loved but couldn't have, who said your eyes were like the sky in New Mexico, very early in the morning. And you were always waiting for him to say, let's go. But he was married and intended to live in the East forever. And when he talked to you, mostly alluded to discreet motels, then laughed it off, which made it seem suddenly like a mediocre movie you'd watch on a Sunday afternoon, full of coin-operated, vibrating beds, and desperate women crying into stained and sweaty sheets, or lonely as your shy, fat former roommate who emptied her veins into a motel bathtub so someone besides her mother would find her body. No one happy ever goes to motels, so you said no to the married man. Oh, please, you're old enough to be my father, and he had no idea you were ever close to yes, and that what you need for loneliness you won't find in whiskey or therapy or on a mattress in a motel. What you need is a shaman, a witch doctor to come and stand in your dreams, muttering charms and incantations over your hot, dark soul. You beg him to say something to turn your luck around. The therapist will tell you to take responsibility for your luck. And your father believes not in luck, but in God. It has rained for 6 days straight, which is hardly your responsibility. It's raining on your vacation and on your life. Or why would you be here playing foosball in a gay bar with a handsome but stupid Australian who doesn't remember how to make small talk and keeps asking if you want another beer when you never drink beer, you always drink margaritas. And since you danced with a different man every night of the week and let them think what they wanted when you closed your eyes to shut up their faces while you listened to the rain, it's no wonder then when another man comes along, asks you to dance, you say, why not? And leave the Australian with a beer in each hand. The lights on the dance floor are strange pastels, and the man winds a lock of your hair around his finger and asks you what you want to do with your life, and tells you you're pretty as a picture, and asks you back to his private pool. It's no wonder that you say, why not? Although you can already see yourself tomorrow afternoon driving through the rain, which will, of course, continue. You will be crying and asking yourself if you thought you could take a vacation from your morals, from what little common sense you possess, from your broken heart. But for now, you go home with a stranger. You feel the coldness of the water, the coldness of the moonlight, the coldness of his hands, and you're lonely. I actually wrote that poem in a bathroom at work. I wrote it in the bathroom because it's the only place you can go to write in secret at work. Getting old and desperate. The next one is a very new one too, and I shouldn't be reading new poems, but I decided I was bored of the others. This is a very strange one. It's called The Teeth of the Poor. For a long time after we got married, your father couldn't find work. We were so poor. We just couldn't afford to go to the dentist. And then when we could afford it, I was ashamed to go. I knew my mouth was full of cavities. I think if I had to do it over, I'd borrow the money. You should take care of your teeth. My mother sighed and tapped her eye tooth, as she does when she's trying to think of something. And I didn't say that sometimes pride is more important than your teeth, and life is very short. I thought of the false tooth she sometimes leaves soaking in a glass of water and baking soda, and of how James Joyce suffered terribly from toothaches, of how he would drink absinthe to take away the pain. I thought of the old Chinese women I saw as a child, who had their teeth capped with gold, and of all the children in that wretched refugee camp I worked at on Argyle Street, how their teeth were black and green with decay, and some of them, when they smiled, would cover their mouth with their hands. I'm reading up bad love poems and real serious stuff so that the play seems funny. They paid me to do this. This is the short one. It's called Ghosts. Your body is an old house full of memories. When I touch you, I hear the spirits in back rooms whispering. Sometimes in the afternoon, I run my fingers delicately over your sleeping face, as though I were touching a fragile sculpture that belonged to someone else. Upstairs in the attic are the photographs of a woman who once wept and said she couldn't live without you. There are days now you look at me and hear her crying. At night, when you close your eyes, I know you're starting down the long staircase into darkness. Don't go. The branches of the trees scrape against the window panes like a woman's fingers, and I'm afraid. called thaw, and I don't know if you ever had one of those whole years that went wrong. This is about one of those years. Karen, do you remember the year we lived on Clinton Street? 3 rooms with 1 window too high up to see out of? Even when it was cold, we sometimes opened the door just to let in some light. You had bed bugs that left red welts on your skin, and water dripped onto my face from the ceiling no matter where I moved my bed. The people above us screamed at each other. We wondered if he was beating her. Once or twice we thought we could hear a child crying, but we were never sure. Mornings you'd put on Vivaldi. I would lie there and breathe your espresso. For your sake, I wanted to be happier, but the sidewalks were thick with ice I thought would never melt. I stayed late at the office, sometimes all night, and you were lonely. You drank tea from a tin mug and read Japanese novels. You said, "You never talked to me." My tongue was broken as the yellow fragments of beer bottles on the sidewalk next to JR's. Every night at dusk, the bells from that Lithuanian church would ring. We went there one Sunday, the 2 of us, but the liturgy was in a language we didn't recognize. All those nights in December, after you'd gone to Illinois, the darkness and the cold were too much for me. When I heard the church bells, I would think of you and cry. I'd stopped believing in anything except what I could touch. I lit candles and prayed, "Lord Jesus, hold me." Karen, I never liked to cry in front of people, so I stayed in that office out in the forest and watched the black sky change over to morning. I could see out the windows there. I could see hundreds of trees. They were so lovely, even after the leaves fell. I would open the windows and touch the branches of birch trees, and no one even knew I was there. I'm just going to read 2 more poems. The first one I wrote about 4 or 5 years ago when I heard about some young poets in China who'd been put in jail for, of course, saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, which is very frequent in China. And I just thought, since I'm reading another poem about China, that it would be interesting to see the difference. Because one of my friends recently read this first poem and said, "That's a very young poem." I grew up in Hong Kong, which, if you know obscure history, is going back to communist China in about 8 years. By the way, I'm not a political poet. This is called Visions. The grieving mountains question all the birds that pass. The mockingbird says it won't be back. Understand the hills forget nothing. When the fog slips over the rice fields and the east wind sings in the young bamboo, when the rain drops in grief from heavy air to the opening fingers of the lotus, though no bird carries hope in its beak, your memory lingers. Tonight, though the moon burns down to black stone, I swear to you, nothing has changed. Lend tongue's flame to your eyes, and you could bore through these moldy walls, set fire to the ancient calligraphy of the trees. Cashing in on the political situation, but it was one that I felt like affected me. It's for June 4th, 1989, Tiananmen Square, and it's called Stone. And the first 2 lines are actually from the Bible, Matthew chapter 7. It's called Stone. Which of you, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? The sound of rain is a thin hand, and the wind is a young widow running through the trees. See, the rain paints the names of the dead in secret on the white scrolls of the new bamboo leaves and whispers, "Remember." Oh, the sound of rain is a fragile hand, too small and lovely to let go of in this darkness, when I know I'll never sleep, when the world's full of sorrow. 1,000 small white pebbles, I turn over one at a time and start to cry. The skin of your sweet American back, close enough to taste, but if I wake you, can I make you understand? Grief is kicking in the doors of every cell in my body, grief with bayonets, and soldiers and all my friends outside against a wall or on their knees. I hear one of them cry out, and already I'm making up stories. I'm telling lies. I'm telling lies. Oh, make this grief go away. Don't make me lie awake all night just waiting. Oh, lovers, sleep for me. In your country, the air is not so thick with the voices of the dying, and sleep is a country where they still recognize the word mercy. But it's so far from here. I can't remember how to get there, and I don't speak the language. Brent, do you remember when we crossed the border the first time? We were on the train all night, and Mother kept telling us to close our eyes, but we couldn't. And when morning finally shuttered up the night like a snake shedding skin, we saw the water buffaloes out in the fields, and women up to their knees in black mud. Memory is white and blue porcelain. I'm going to break it. I'm going to smash it. I'm going to scream the names of all the soldiers who fired on their own countrymen. I'm going to learn how to forget. I've never been much good at sleeping. When I was a child, I used to get out of bed in the middle of the night and sit on the balcony in the darkness, count the lights on in other people's windows, pray to be a saint. If only I could hear an angel. If only I could bleed from the palms of my hands. If only I could be holy as silence, as pure as fire. But there was one question I could never answer. If I saw them lining up people one at a time, if I saw them shoot my friends, my husband, my daughter, if I saw blood and brains and pieces of skull splattered against the wall, if I saw them light the fire under me, if I felt the flames at the ends of my fingers, if I smelled my own flesh burning, wouldn't I go back on my word, say anything and nothing, deny Christ, turn over any Jews hiding in my attic, sign on the dotted line, wave a red book, make my quota, go along with the crowd when the crowd turned to pigs, possessed by demons, rushing to the edge of a precipice? But in those days, how much I believed in the power of the Spirit. I thought you could just unzip your body and step out of it. And if you waited in a cave on the mountainside, God would come to you. I was a prophet. I was a chosen vessel. It was in my blood. I couldn't help it. When I spoke, water would gush from the rocks in the desert, and the stones would turn into bread. These days, I'd settle for a little hope. Oh, my country, country of my ligaments and tendons, country of the marrow of my bones, this century has given you nothing. China, you make it so easy for the young and fervent to rush into martyrdom, kill them quickly without asking for recantations, then hose the blood out of the courtyards. So clean the white stones glitter in the sunlight. In my heart, I'm always home and time's running out. I want to seep quietly through the ground with the honest rain, away from the slanderous air, this treacherous ground. Oh, let me sleep tonight in the echoing caverns of darkness, where grief is slow, where water shapes stone into eloquence, or else take me all the way to the center of this difficult earth, where memory is always white hot, and silence burns without prevarication. Oh, love, my heart's heavy as a stone, and my skin is burning. If I woke you, would set the world on fire.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Lori. Thanks very much. Next up, we've got Paul Day and his magic flute. And then after that, we've got Amy Fusselman and the Who and the Stones. So y'all stay.
Yes, hello, how are you doing today? What? How are you? 2, 3, 4, tasting. Tasting. Yes, all right. Well, I figure I don't have anything as dramatic to do. I like to start off with a kind of a superficial song. This song is superficial, don't mean a thing, don't say a thing, it won't, it's superficial. This song is really boring, doesn't go anywhere. You could sing it if you cared, but you won't, because it's boring. You can't predict the bridge, cause this is the bridge. I thought it'd be here, and it is. Now it will end. Didn't it be wrong? It's a superficial song. Now it will end. Right. This next song, this song is kind of a cautionary tale. Just in the writing of the song, because I wrote this specifically for someone who indeed did kind of do a lot of globetrotting. I played it for her, and after it was over, she was really kind of pissed off because she had never been to any of these places, and she was very offended by it. So it's called "Girl Around the World." Or at least soon will be. Scottish fog in Idaho, books full of packs of fog from Pakistan. Ballpoint pen she found the street outside of the airport in Japan. Hiring from India, from the 12-year-old boy that wouldn't leave her alone. Taxi fares and pottery, far from miles that she has flown. I met a girl who travels round the world. I met a girl who travels round the world. Break dancing dancers in Cobra clubs with secret passwords. Got the cold, she flew to Australia, where the seasons are back asswards. Didn't know her for too long. Postcard came from Iceland, never had for you my second passport. Hope you had a wonderful day. I met a girl who travels round the world. I met a girl who travels round the world. I met a girl who travels round the world. I just last week broke up with a girlfriend, and I mean, it was kind of a bad scene. I kind of knew it wasn't going to last to begin with, because she was a vegetarian, I ate meat. And yeah, I came home one time and said, honey, what's for dinner? She said, I don't know, the cat hasn't caught it yet. So I knew that, you know, trouble was on the forefront, but when we broke up, it was a really bad scene. I threatened to kill myself, and she gave me some pointers. A noose is nice, grips tight like a vice, and cuts off all the air up to your brain. If you fall really fast, in a sec, it'll break your neck and save you a considerable amount of pain. Jumping out of windows is all very well and good, but would you want to clean it up? I don't think I would. No, nobody is nice, and I agree with you. That noose will very nicely do. Everybody sing, come on! A noose is nice, grips tight Thank you, mate. And cuts off all the air up to your brain. If you're falling really fast, if you're falling really fast, in a sec, it'll break your neck and save you a considerable amount of pain. Pills are too risky and they cost way too much. Razors leave you bloody and nasty to the touch. Oh yes, but a noose is nice, and I agree with you that noose will very nicely, a noose will quite precisely, a noose will very nicely do. Now some of these songs, I just want to let you know, they don't have any titles yet to them. So just audience participation. If you think of a good title, just see me later. This song I wrote in New Jersey, which doesn't really make it funny. We'd sit on the porch. We'd open a bottle of wine. We'd sit on the stairs, neath the stars, neath the moon of July. Just you and I. We'd stay in bed Sunday, wait for the kid to deliver the times. We'd make love before we reached the floor, as we didn't care, didn't live there. All of these memories around you, surrounded proverbial dust clouds, smoky gray veil. All I can do not to come running back to you, prideful swallowed to no avail. Well, what if you're right? What if you are the girl that I need? What if my endless refusing all that said that was true really weren't true? All of these memories around you, surrounded proverbial dust clouds, smoky gray veil. All I can do not to come running back to you, prideful swallow to no avail. We'll sit on the porch, we'll open a bottle of wine. We'll sit on the stairs, neath the stars, neath the moon of July. Just her and I. Well, God came into my life just enough time to write a song. I was watching Convoy with Chris Christopherson. Exactly, and I kind of harked back to that period in time. For just a sec, I don't know if you remember all this religious stuff back in '74. This again has no title. Please keep your ears open. Well, on to destitute and lonely, to the deserts of Mojave. Dust in the pocket, dust in my shoes, without a key beside me. I was damn near close to dying when I got down on my knees. Said, Lord, won't you give me a bed for the night if you're going down the keys? Well, you know I never seen Jesus, but I've been to his apartment. Left a note, said be back. Couple thousand years, there's a beer in the fridge. Well, for Holy Ghost, cable bill can pay through next year. I've been there ever since. Well, you might think I'm crazy, but I ain't believe you me. House sitting for the house of the Lord with beer and free TV. When Merlin Olsen comes on that TV, well, I have to answer yes. When he asks, how do you spell relief? I say J-E-S-U-S. You know, I never seen Jesus, but I've been to his apartment. Sing along. Left a note said goodbye. 1,000 years there's a beer in the fridge. Well, for a Holy Ghost, he was sure a hell of a host. 'Cause cable bills been paid through next year. I've been there ever since.
I'd like to switch icons here for just a second. Now, when I was in New Jersey, we went down to Asbury Park, and we went to go see exactly. We went to go see the Springsteen Museum. It was kind of cheesy. It was kind of like this indoor parking lot with a lot of cars without transmissions, like all these women named Wendy and Janie asking if we could be helped. But you know, the best thing about it was they had Springsteen's first song that he ever wrote when he was like about 14. He was cutting a lot of lawns back then. But I think even this song shows like a lot of depth, you know, and it shows promise fulfilled. It's called Power More.
Seems like I bought her yesterday. She was a cherry red machine. Took her down to a friend of mine to paint the flames that were really mean. Bought her new mag tires, a programmable horn, because the princess only goes first class. And you can relive the glories as the bar closes down, because that princess could shortcut grass. She screamed, Toro, 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 as she went for the turn and avoided the shrub on the right. That power more mama could run on me, just let her charge overnight. And the dental lights cowered and the neighbors stared as she mulched and bagged with joy. That power more mama was the queen of the development, second to no long boy. That Jim next door just bought him a deer, one of those snappy little compact jobs. Smaller blade radius, but quick as a snake, getting blown away John and Bob's. Sunshine fires were met in the yard and divided it up in half. My princess purred as if to reassure we'd have the last laugh. She screamed, Toro, 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 as she went for the turn and avoided the shrub on the right. But she hit the rock and she started to skid, though she fought it with all her might. I got thrown as we went for the pool, and I watched her in the water of death. But I had to smile as she let go, a little laugh with her last breath. Now if this song has gone on too long, well then please pardon me. It's just that I'm kinda drunk right now, and she meant a lot to me. I don't cut my lawn anymore, sit and watch the neighbor boy.
This is a folk song about punk rockers. Again, no title. Butch and Frida met at a punk club. They were mutually tired. Butch's dad was an Air Force colonel who was recently retired. Frida's mom had left her husband as she read the women's room. Butch and Frida had great hair, but socially their love was doomed. Called her Angel, she said no, 'cause she ain't dead, and it ain't so. Called her Lamb Chop, she'd repeat that she ain't dead, and she ain't me. Don't call me your chickadee. Your terms of endearment just disgust me. My name's Frida, can't you see? That shit makes me queasy. Na 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 na. Frida tried to explain who's sexist, which found that inconsequential. Didn't get the irony in being cute and existential. 2-month anniversary. Got her a teddy bear wrapped in clover. She trashed his last trash collection, a boot in the groin, and it was over. Called her Angel, she said no, that she ain't dead, and it ain't so. Called her Lamb Chop, she repeat that she ain't dead, and she ain't me. Don't call me your chickadee. Your terms of endearment just disgust me. My name's Frida, can't you see? That shit makes me queasy. Na na na. This is a special request for going up directly to Rachel Lori. Forever. Because they're wicked cute together. They're wicked fucking cute. That's true. This does have a title, so you don't have to really bother with it. It's called this is called The Disclaimer Walls. It's about lingerines. If I ask you quite nicely for a few squirts of spray and wash that sits on the counter or the laundromat we're in, would you turn your head slowly and stare at me blankly for 4 or 5 seconds before the lecture begins? Would you then say you bought it with money you worked for, and that makes it undisputably yours? That you have no use for freeloaders like me who cheat on welfare and only pretend to be poor? Look, I don't want to borrow your money or your mother or your car to drive to Mexico this week. No, I just want 1 or 2 seconds for her to spray and wash the out. A small grease stain your self-righteous deed. So if I have to go through all your tight-fisted bullshit that you wait to spew like a panther waits to spring and defend your moral and monetary values, then you can fuck off and forget the whole thing. Now Neil Young claims he's not going to sing for Pepsi. He's not going to sing for Coke. He's not going to sing. Well, actually, he is going to sing for one thing, because everyone does have their price. And if you watch the World Series this year, it's going to be the Neil Young commercial. It's going to be for Stay Free Maxi Pads. Yes, honestly. No, it is. No, it's going to go something like this. Beltless, beltless, bell. Mark my words. Great big red pencil. This is the last song, and it is a love ballad, and it's for the aphrodisiac in the '80s, which of course is sorts. Boarded a plane to Atlanta with a briefcase full of texts. Just another day in the life
impossible happened when our eyes did meet. And she said, fuck me, I just had a search. I'm hot and ready, hope the jet's in gear. I want to be horizontally when we get to the south. You never know there's smoke, 'cause just that little drop of rents in here has erased all of the bad taste accumulated in my mouth.
It is kind of awesome.
Plane set down in Atlanta. She removed her nails from my thigh. Both walked towards the same person, and to both of us he said hi. He said, now isn't it an amazing coincidence? You both took the same plane from New York. Introduced his wife as Sharon, who I had just then porked. When she said, fuck me, I just had surd. Sing along. I really hope the jet's in gear. I want to be horizontally when we get to the south. You'll never know there's smoke, 'cause just that little drop of rents in here has erased all of the bad taste accumulated in my mouth.
Yes, hard to believe that man has a day job. And believe it or not, he's Paul Revere on the Tea Party tours. So if you don't know everything about Boston, you can catch him at 8:15, 9:15 on your local tour bus. Okay, right now we've got another A.K.A. theater piece. This is actually mine. So come on up, performers. The magic of theater. Dazzling. Okay, also I want to this time thank everyone at the Middle East, Eric, our sound man, and Lana, who's at the door, and Billy Ruane for giving us this space. This is very nice for us. We're not used to it.
Checks, please. Check.
Okay, this is a piece called Lawn Dart by Warner Trishman, who's fleeing from the police, right? This is inspired by, you all know Ed's Redeeming Qualities, a song they sing called Lawn Dart. This was inspired by it, and here on the stage we have Ed, Sam, Bonnie, Marty, and a preacher comes in later. The place is Ed and Sam's lawn. The time is July 3rd. On this lawn is a bench, a barbecue, and Ed and Sam stand together.
Ed, you're a
I know.
magician.
So are you, Sam. And your lawn is as green.
None greener, except yours, Ed.
The best is yet to come.
How true, very true.
Look at that sky, Sam. That sun. Setting now, but it will rise tomorrow.
Bonnie, 8 months pregnant, crosses the stage with a bag of groceries and a picnic basket.
There goes your wife.
Some people, complainers or poets, if you will, say, oh, this is an accident, a mistake. I can't agree at all. Look at this lawn. I watered this lawn.
And we have the day off.
Now look at sprinklers. Used to be men would depend on the weather. The weather was random. One year rain would pour like...
Marty, 7 months pregnant, crosses the stage with 2 bags of groceries and a blanket.
There goes my wife.
Like hell busting open. Then the next year there was no water and locusts would come. Then my father, I remember this, had a sprinkler. He had a sprinkler which was nothing more than a metal tube with holes at one end of the hose, and I hated that sprinkler.
You were right about the sky, Ed.
Now, Sam, I have a sprinkler system and the pipes are underground, out of sight. It's automatic.
Bonnie and Marty run on with groceries, basket, and blanket. They are wet.
On the nose as always.
The best is yet to come.
Yes, sir, we have the day off, today and tomorrow. And we're fertile, Ed.
And we're friends.
Neighbors.
Did you bring plates?
We work hard.
Yes.
Too hard, maybe.
I don't know your feelings about copy machines.
Oh, I love them, Ed. You know I do. But then at night when I'm asleep, I don't want to think about them. I am doing that. I'm thinking about them at night.
I found them. Here they are. Yes, there they are.
Well, now, Sam, that isn't necessarily bad. I mean, even at this moment, I'm thinking 3-ring binders. I know I have a problem with the green 3-ring binders.
But Ed, it is at night.
Well, I think it's good. When you see these copy machines, I think you're having a vision. You're having visions of the future.
They're big. The copy machines are real big.
I'm hungry. Me too.
What are you doing? Are you fixing the machines? Are you selling them? Or?
It's just the copiers, Ed. I don't see me, only the copiers. And the gears are exposed.
I know office supplies.
Will you get sick? I don't care. Will I get sick?
They pull food wrapped in tin foil.
Office supplies are the ink and the pen of my life, Sam.
Oh, Ed.
And like I said, the green 3-ring binders they're overstocked and they need a more attractive display. But the point is that I see office supplies all night.
You do?
I get up and I look at the catalogs.
What's happening to me is involuntary.
I can't.
You can't?
Choose. We made too much.
Now look at the grass. Grass is planted during the day, but in the night it's growing, and sometimes I hear it.
Yes, our grass.
Take the superfine ballpoint pens right here. I only see them at daytime, and when I go to work, we always have more. And then I go in the back room and I see boxes of superfine ballpoint pens. And therefore, they must be manufactured at night.
If I have to see things at night,
Well, you don't have to.
I'd rather see hot dogs. I like hot dogs. They're good to eat.
Hot dog?
No.
Well, you could see toads with boils on their heads.
I don't want to change, Ed.
Well, I told you this isn't a mistake or anything.
And I'm okay?
You're a prophet.
I am?
Yes.
I don't want to be a prophet.
You're having visions.
Here, eggs.
No. I'm not hungry.
You were.
I don't want responsibilities that you don't have, Ed. That's not good.
Sam,
We're neighbors. We have the same size lawn.
you have to share your vision, Sam. That's right. You become compelled to speak about what you have, to let it be known, the beauty and the fertility of it all, and all this.
But Ed, I don't speak good.
It's very easy.
It is?
Say, welcome to my world.
Welcome to my world.
Congratulations.
I'm bored.
You are?
Well, yes.
Really?
Yes, I'm bored.
Me too.
We're bored.
More.
I think they're speaking to us.
We want something.
Me too.
Look at the sun.
No.
Give us something else.
Marty,
Bonnie, we'd like something else, please.
Sam.
Welcome to my world.
I have a story about superfine ballpoint pens.
Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world.
I don't think so.
Oh, what about games?
What do you mean?
Yes.
Here?
Charades.
I don't know.
Yes. What am I? What am I?
I don't know.
Third trimester.
order will be disturbed.
I want a game now.
To bring an outside element into our environment, what if something happens? What if we don't know how to play?
Lawn darts.
Huh?
What are lawn darts?
Wait.
Let's play lawn darts.
What are they?
Everybody knows that.
They do?
Well, sure. Well, a game. A game played on the lawn.
I don't believe they exist.
But they do, Ed.
Well, how do you know?
I'm not sure. I see them.
Yes?
I see them flying in the air. I see red fins, the yellow shafts, the golden tips.
Yes, yes!
They're falling from the sky. I see them falling around us, landing in the dark spot on the grass, standing straight up. I hear laughing.
Oh, laughing!
Go get them.
Where?
Where am I?
They have to come from somewhere. Oh, where do you get lawn darts?
Our neighbors.
Well, we're neighbors.
No, our neighbors that aren't you.
They aren't our neighbors.
They live right there.
They don't water their own lawn.
Okay, the sun's going. Oh, there goes the sun.
We want our game.
Kmart.
You mean
Kmart, the store.
we leave? You mean we get in your car and drive away?
We have a car.
Our car is new.
It's new because you don't drive it. Not one time in 6 months.
Well, I would, but it's new.
I can drive to Kmart.
In the city?
Not in the city, just outside.
But what if we get lost in the city?
I saw them, Ed. It wasn't even night. These visions, well, like you said, infernal. The best is yet to come.
You know what happens to people who get lost in the city?
Ed and Sam exit. Bonnie and Marty lay on the ground and look at the sky.
Have you thought?
Yes.
Me too.
7 Seas.
7 Seas, exactly.
It had to be something.
Have you thought what it will look like?
Ed and Sam enter. They get in a car, they drive.
Huh? You know, Bonnie, new life.
The baby.
It's not a baby yet.
Of course it is.
And what will it look like? What if it looks like an old man or a star or someone I don't know but don't like?
No. It will look like
I was wrong to ask.
the devil with red horns,
I couldn't help it.
a hairy hoof, and a pitchfork.
Stop!
Just like his father.
Stop! Stop!
Talk to me. You gotta talk to me.
There.
My mind is racing. Oh, it runs ahead. Marty, talk to me.
Me? Now?
Where are we?
We were here and now. We're
I would like to know where we are, Sam.
we're on the way.
Good. We'll be there soon.
We may not have to go into the city, Ed.
We have food. I said that. This is too much. I like rice. I like tea. I like the 7 Seas.
And
And I can't think of anything else. Hold it. Music. There's music here.
I wasn't bored.
But they were.
See, just hold on.
Now, this was right. This wasn't chance. Things appear and we adapt to these things. The situation arises and we respond to the situation, and that doesn't mean the situation was not part of a pattern. These lawn darts, for example, and I haven't seen them.
I did. Boy, did I see them.
Well, since they exist, they must be for us. We provide them. That's the conclusion.
Should we turn back?
Turn on some music.
Sam and Marty turn on the radio. You're on the road to hell. If you desire wine, you will have dust. If your stomach desires fish, you will find a stone on your plate. This is not coincidence. This is not your dumb luck. A higher order is announcing its presence in your life. Some accuse me, saying I'm a man filled with hate. Sam and Marty turn off the radio.
There's no music.
what's left? What can we do?
Breathe.
That's it.
No, exercise. Practice breathe.
I know how.
When the time comes, you forget because practice with me. That's not a time to make a mistake. Bonnie,
I hear you.
you want me to coach you?
I'm not ready.
I practice every morning. I'm afraid. If the new life comes out missing something, I'll carry it with me my whole life. I am not good with missing pieces. Something fell off the vacuum and I put it in the closet. Puzzles hurt my head.
I'm not ready.
Ed and Sam pull up to Kmart.
Are you ready?
It's big.
They have a lawn department.
You've been here before?
It says lawn department on the building.
It's big like a city.
The end of the lawn dart. Thank you very much. Okay, that was Ann Snodgrass, Rick O'Shea, Jill Cushman, and Raymond Pape, and they were all fine. Give them another big hand. With your help, we may be doing lawn darts sometime here in the near future. Of course, if I finish it and stop doing stuff like this. Right now, we've got, boy, I tell you, I can't say enough about this person and her poetry and everything she does. I've wanted to introduce her for as long as I've lived, and I haven't known her that long. Oh, I don't have my hat on, but anyway, this is poetry from Amy Fusselman.
Well, you look like a rock and roll crowd. I can spot you a mile away. I feel like I can speak for most people here when I say I like poetry and I like rock and roll. And I like them to such a degree that I think they should be more like each other. So, when I read poetry, I like to begin reading with a covered poem. And, the poem I'd like to cover this evening is one by John Donne. And if you don't know Mr. Donne, he is a 17th century metaphysical poet. And what's interesting about John Donne is that as a youth, he was a sex-obsessed rogue. And later in his life, he became a priest. And somewhat of an extremist myself, I feel sympathy with and for him because his poetry often confuses two subjects which I am also very interested in, which are sex and God. So this poem I'd like to cover is from his Holy Sonnets. It's called Holy Sonnet 14. I guess it doesn't really have a title, but and I'd like to do a speed thrash version. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'd like to thank M&S Police Supply for this fine voice. My work now. In the same way that John Donne sort of had a problem with sex, God, this poem is sort of giving a thing over this love and being held up at gunpoint, love being held up at gunpoint. So just to give you that information. It's called Look, Love, a Handgun. Oh yeah, and the stanza form, see if you were reading this on the page, the tone changes in stanzas 2 and 4, which I will try to enunciate by pausing. I was dragging myself through the muggy night back from the bank machine into the machinery of my car, when a twiggy arm weighed down by a huge black handgun followed me through the window opening in the door. It hovered near my ear like a snake about to strike, or please God whisper. I froze, waiting to hear. Sitting in a claustrophobic bistro, I watched one melancholy man follow a woman to a doll-sized table. He sits like a big stuffed bear trapped in front of their tiny cups, while the woman points the smoking end of a cigarette at him and has the entire conversation by herself in different voices. Looking out the car windshield to the street a half a block away, I saw the payphones lit up like porn shops, obscenely accessible. I was trying to lean forward, so the barrel of the gun would be aimed more toward the back of my skull. But a low voice from above told me softly to lean back, to hand over my wallet. I offered it like an apple, cupped in my open palm. Afterward, I said nothing. The gun sat there and I said nothing, watching the girls in white dresses walk by unaware. When my desire walks in the windowed bistro door, it focuses my whole world. I watch him look around, see nothing, and sit down at a stranger's table. Utterly oblivious, he could be another Isaac Newton just before the apple fell, or another atom before the other fall. I approach him slowly, snaking my way around the walls. Suddenly, a voice above me said, "Okay now, just drive away, slowly." I took off like a shot, saying, "Oh my God," soft and loud, like an orgasm. I drove straight to my last ex-lover's house and walked right in his open door. It was as if he'd been there forever, standing naked in the bedroom between two oscillating fans, sadly shaking their heads no. He said nothing when I started bawling. He said nothing. He held me up. Is 337, 338, and it's about walking around the art museum. Like two plow horses who do not know that both this bit of earth and our promenade around it belong to a few lord, we are disconnected from the meaning circling through this unvarying scenery. Madonna and child in the medieval room of a museum. I stand beside a silky brute with whom I've arranged a sexless friendship, like a Giotto obsessed with creating gesture in a canvas Madonna's hand. We fear that a touch would kill our consummate understanding. We know we are in love. We pose as if for a painting. A woman whose smile says never, whose eyes are the windows of a brothel. A child who snickers like a lecher. A child as frightening as a circus freak. Our Lord, pinching the Virgin Mother's nipple, shrieks. The museum guard stands stony as a commandment, saying nothing, saying do not touch. A touch would not transform us into a saint and her savior, nor would we become merely two harnessed beasts. Neither 100 painted metaphors nor love can change our human nature. A woman and a man, we are perfect, incomplete, and hopelessly unaware that while we wander here, imagining all that we might become, a museum guard accounts for us with 2 strokes of his thumb. Sex, God, love being held up at gunpoint, horse, dog, love. That's the name of the sex poem. All makes sense. All makes sense when you listen to a lot of Motorhead. A spoiled childhood friend had his pet horse not buried deep enough in his yard. By the creek, each spring the bones crocused where we picnic. Oh, dog love, what is it you're dragging to my door? Your unspeakable grin, a black rabbit, its torn head on the M, bit body on the L of my matted welcome. My lover galls me with his big surprises. Dinner, dinner, dinner. Our talk is everything that's wrong with language. A pup that's scratching madly in an airless birthday package. Oh, this horse is so damn dead, yet I nag, 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 nag. What I love is an old horse being fed by the boy who beats him. At home, after a meal, I hold a bone up high and tell my dog to speak. He does nothing but wag his tail, and this is love. He knows that he will eat. I want a French just for you. This is a poem that I can say now about my exposed mother. It's the joy of being a confessional poet. It's called First Dinner with His Mother. Her teeth are straight gray headstones in her smile as she says, "Here's a place for you." And like a game show showgirl strokes her hand over an empty plate. We sit in an order she prearranged and eat without grace, passing platters in silent procession. I have some trouble conversing with her. Statistics of my life are in the meal like melon seeds, little black facts I spit out with a little trouble. She shakes her salt like a shaman's rattle when I squeeze the knee of her son. Blind to any of our feminine tension, he's nothing more than a hungry kid at this ritual, a dumb young Oedipus crying for nipple. He squirms between us like a sacrifice as she refills my wine glass gracefully. When it comes time for him and me to leave, she presses her cheek against mine and kisses the air near my ear. The sound is like the smack of his stomach on mine a few hours later. I'm going to follow Paul's lead here and end with something that's just ridiculously romantic. Although it really is. My roommate told me I should read this poem. It's called One Day Crushed. Where do you begin? Sitting beside you in the booth, I wear my skin a little tighter, aware of all the blood I'm barely wrapped around. Restricting my field of vision to a spot on our little table, I watch your hands appear and disappear, slick from a pile of fries. Your hands appear and disappear. We face a mutual friend who's doing all the talking. Now, he says, the two of you look awfully lugubrious. Your cigarette smoke enters the air around me, enters me. I breathe deeply. Our friend begins a story about a whale's penis. At the bottom of the ocean, where space is defined by weight and tension, the beasts who do not touch can feel one another move, can almost forget themselves. I shimmer in my fine skin. Your hands appear. Oh, my new love. Your hands disappear. Oh, my new love, begin. I look up when the boy behind the counter laughs, flashing the silver wheel he'll use to slice our pie. Suddenly I have a fantasy of how I'll turn and kiss you, of how we'll kiss without breathing. How long can we spend in silence? A day with you passes as quickly as the wail of an ambulance's siren. Thank you.
justice in the world when she's not opening up for Guns N' Roses somewhere. Okay, we're well underway. I forgot to mention in that very first skit, for those who were here early, ARG, and don't request it because we won't do it again. Alicia Conroy was in that skit, and I think I've named everyone else. Now we've got Craig Lapine. I've been told, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Lapine is an old friend of mine, and very old friend. And he's going to come up here, and I believe a guest of his, Hugh Hamilton, so y'all put your hands together.
Kiss another, but I wasn't untrue, 'cause the whole stinking time I was thinking of you. Well, I'm tired, but I'm not gonna stay here. I'm just funny that way. Really locked up my sidekick, 'cause he had a few, and they threw me in with him. Guess I had some too, and I did. I kissed another, but I wasn't untrue, 'cause the whole fucking time I was thinking of you. I'm tired, but I'm not gonna stay here. I'm just funny that way. I'm gone, though I would like to stay here. I'm just funny that way.
Actually, funnily enough, that's it's embarrassing to say, but that song is sort of based on a true story, and this is the guy I was with. Hugh Hamilton. We used to have a band together called Hue and Cry, which, I don't know, we used to go out a couple years ago. You might have seen us. And if you were out on the street about 15 minutes ago, you were probably lucky enough to hear the set one time already, because we were just learning it. So, I guess we're gonna check.
We've been down this way before, both been down this road of love. There's no way to tell for sure. This match was made of love, so I'll draw a map of my heart. You study it while we're apart. I wouldn't want our wires crossed. I wouldn't want love to be lost, so I'll draw a map of my heart. I say my love is true and that it will never die. Doesn't mean a lot to you. Heard that from some other guy, so I'll draw a map of my heart.
is, what is this called? Why Tell Me Why, I think. Why tell me why will you not love me? And why must you lower my one sin above me? I said I'm sorry 1,000 times. I don't think that that's gonna change your mind. Well, I thought you wanted me. Guess I'll have to think again. But I knew I was your lover, but I guess I'm not your friend. Well, I thought you wanted me until I found you up in leaving. So give me back my broken heart. Can't call it even. Well, baby, I see that you've been lying. Well, lie here with me. Stop these tears I'm crying. I said I love you 1,000 times, but now I don't think that that's gonna change your mind. Well, I thought you wanted me. Guess I'll have to think again. I knew I was your lover, but I guess I'm not your friend. Well, I thought you wanted me until I found you up in leaving. So give me back my broken heart. Can't call it even. Whatever you want to. You're the one that you got to tune down for. This is the tuning Keith Richards uses playing this You can score on any train, yeah. On the flyer, on the street. Sometimes the smoke is almost cheaper than to eat. When the paranoia strikes, it's bad behavior. Starting on the country. Waiting for the Guardians to fill. I think they might break down the gate. Find infidel to kill. 'Cause when the general rears his head, you know you might be better dead. At least it's safer not to be stoned in other countries. The sun begins to weigh on your mind and on your heart, but it takes
and it's true. Darling, I love you. Tell me how you feel. Darling, love is real. Words of love you whispered in my ear. Darling, when you're near. Words of love you whispered soft and true. Darling, I love you. Words of love. Words of love. Words of love.
So we're using all our tricks tonight. Open turning, K-pose. So I think this is going to be it for us. So thanks to A.K.A. Theater. They're a great group of people. Support them with the opportunity. This is a song that, I don't know, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to dedicate this song that she's going to sing to my sister.
Because she's leaving, and it's called The Goodbye Prayer. It's actually sort of inspired by a guy who is gone in one sense. He sort of played with, he was a great farfisa player and a great drinking buddy, and he just went into the monastery last month. We won't be playing much farfisa or drinking with us too much anymore. You're on the road alone, no haven up ahead. Or if you wake up in the morning with a new love in your bed, if your blessings have been many, or if everything seems dark, just remember as you wander that you're with me in my heart. May the road rise to meet you on your way. May the sun shine up tomorrow, a new and better day. May your good heart turn your enemies to friends. May we laugh some more together before this long road. Well, I hope you're seldom lonely, and the wind is at your back. And when it gets too heavy, you've a place to lay your pack. And some night when you're happy, your smiles are all you see. I hope that on that evening you will raise a glass for me. May the road
tomorrow bring a new and better day. May a good heart turn your enemies to friends. May we laugh some more together before this long road ends. Thanks a lot.
Can you believe that all of these talented people have day jobs? Not one of them's unemployed in the whole lot. Put your hands together for Greg Lapine and Hugh Hamilton. They were great. Fantastic. Okay, so this is A.K.A. There's been a change. This is A.K.A. We're a versatile group. We can be anything. Okay, right now we've got Raymond Pape, who's read in a skit now, is a writer, and we're going to be reading a little play of his. And then after that, we've got Puppet Show and Bundestag. And yeah. You have a cat here? We already have a cat. So take it outside. And the Who and the Stones won't be coming because they're a little worried about a stampede, and you know, this is sort of general seating, and they're a little concerned about that. So right now, we'll get the readers on up for this next play, and we'll get right into it.
Hello? Sorry, we have an announcement to make. Lori?
I just wanted to announce that a week from Monday at the Stone Soup Poetry Reading, one of the best young poets in the state of Massachusetts, Deb Oestreicher, who's going to kill me for saying this, is going to be reading at Charlie's Tap. So be there, be square, 8 o'clock, Monday the 14th.
Support poetry or it won't support you. Think about that. Okay. Right now, The Platform by Raymond Pape. Time, the present. Place, any convenient tea stop along the Green Line, Boston, Mass. A man and a woman stand in a crowd of people, all waiting for a train.
Excuse me, but I know you, don't I?
Do you?
Yes, your face is familiar. Haven't I seen you on the train before?
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Well, if you look at me, you might.
Am I supposed to keep track of everyone I see on the train?
Oh, well, you look like someone I'd seen, that's all.
Yes, well, there are 200 people in the city that look exactly like me.
Oh,
Where's the damn train?
pardon my crude insistence, but do you take the train often?
No, not really.
I do. You see, I take it all the time.
It's supposed to run regularly?
Yes, you're right. People sometimes take the bus, but the train is always much faster, especially if you want to go inbound. You must be going inbound.
Yes, just like everybody else.
This is a coincidence. I've heard about these things happening on train platforms. It happens to all the right people, but never to me. I'm going inbound too, you see. Isn't that something? We're both going inbound. That makes us special. Look, everyone.
Here's the train, thank God.
Actually, that's a C train. I can recognize it. It comes first. But I'm sure that you'd want, as I'd want, to go on the A train. Because it's the only one that will take us past the shopping district, then, well, past the Leechmere stop.
There's no A train on the map. Oh, what does it matter anymore? A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Oh, no, but the A train is best. Not everyone knows about it, you see, because it always seems to pass by when you're looking the other way. Or you'll invariably get on the train before it, or sometimes when you're running down the stairs to the platform, you'll just see it pulling away. But if you wait long enough, it'll come and take you where you really want to go.
Well, I just want to go shopping, so
Are you sure you're about to go shopping?
I must want to go shopping. That's where everyone's pushing me.
I don't think you want to go shopping at all.
I'm one of 1,000 people going shopping today.
You don't think this is terribly forward of me, do you? I mean, I don't want to be forward. It's just that you are talking back to me, aren't you?
Yes, I'm talking back to you. I'm not sure why, but now I'm thinking, who cares, really?
You're inviting conversation on a train platform in the city?
Sure.
And without feeling frightened?
No, I don't care.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean to say that I'd rather not bother anyone at all, but I have to talk sometimes. Not all the time, just some of the time. There's the air, you know what I mean?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Well, listen to that. You know what I mean?
It's not so strange.
Well, I'll be. My wife, my ex-wife, doesn't know what she's talking about.
How's that?
The last thing she said to me was, you talk too much. That's no reason to leave somebody, is it?
I don't think so.
Me either.
I'm afraid to say, I think she left you for a reason that you don't want to say.
What's that?
Oh, admit it. You know you'll feel better if you just quit lying to yourself.
I feel fine.
I'm not blind, you know.
You don't know anything about me.
You look like a man that got dumped for somebody else.
Oh, I do, huh?
Yes, the features are quite distinct.
Well, isn't that interesting?
So have you been dumped?
Well, my wife and I are recently separated, but there was no third party involved.
Only women can see the truth in people, you know. I can tell I'm right, too. That drop of sweat hanging from your chin tells it all. I saw you walk down those steps, and immediately I said, now there goes someone who just got dumped for someone else.
You think you're so smart. What kind of guy is he?
Tall, tan, much older than he looks. You've met him, actually. He worked in your accounting office. Your wife has good taste.
Roger? Roger Belzak from accounting?
Sorry to say it, but
Behind my back?
it seems as though he's trying to relive his lost youth in her. The more he tries to look young, the more attention he gets from your ex-wife. That's why she got him those tickets to Jamaica. I'm sorry.
Is that all?
The more attention he gives her, the hornier she gets. That's why the relationship is built mostly on sex.
Sex, I knew it. Come on, what else do you know about this scumbag?
I would, but I don't think the blame is all his.
Oh no, what's that supposed to mean?
Don't you have something to confess?
No,
You can confess it to me.
I'm not confessing anything. You're just somebody waiting for a train.
So are you. You and I. I'm not going anywhere. Why don't you tell me? Confess.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not guilty of anything. She's the one who's guilty. She left me. For that reason alone, she's the one to blame. I had nothing to do with it, you hear me?
I hear lies. Your sex life was a travesty, all because of you, Paul. You. Your premature ejaculation drove her up the wall.
That's not true.
She would work as hard as she could to get you to love her right, but you could never, ever, not once satisfy her.
Not even that night at the Ritz-Carlton?
Especially the night.
That's personal.
So what if it is? It's the truth and you wear it on your sleeve.
God, where's the A-train?
You'd be surprised as hell to know what a woman can tell about a man with one glance on a train platform.
I guess I am surprised.
I see that.
Fucking depressed.
She didn't leave you because you talked too much. She was only nice enough to invent something so she wouldn't embarrass you.
That's quite enough.
She couldn't stand to see your face when she told you.
I know what I am. Jesus, I'm a human being too, you know.
Sorry.
Why is it that no one out there will ever settle for less than perfection? I've tried so hard to achieve my own personal perfection, but it didn't work. It never works. I looked for ties to match my three-piece suits, but I knew I couldn't win. I've tried mousse in my hair, I've tried racquetball, but it's no use.
You're just not cut out for the real world. You're not one of the right people.
As if you were perfect.
Me? Hey, I'm waiting for the A train too.
As if you had all the marbles.
Maybe I do, and maybe I won't let you have any.
Look, I've seen your memoirs. I know your deal.
You couldn't possibly have a single clue because there is no deal. Now here comes the train, so leave off.
It's the B train.
I don't care, I'm taking it.
I say, first of all, that you're full of shit. I don't think you're going shopping at all.
I'm getting on it anyway. Get out of my way.
Shopping downtown. Nobody wants to go shopping. No one. I don't know of a single person who looks forward to it. And you, suffering underneath the weight of gross inferiority, follow the crowd like lemmings to the cliff.
No, please be quiet. quiet.
And is there really anything worth buying downtown for $3.45?
I have credit.
You're overdrawn.
I'm expecting some net profit.
You've got nothing coming in, nothing! The unemployment office found out about your old part-time job at the liquor store and they stopped your checks.
Let me on that train.
So that you can blend in with the faceless million? I can see you too, Elaine Abernathy.
Please leave me alone.
You're just waiting for a train to come along here and you're gonna get on it with all the money you've got in your 2 front pockets and go as far as it can take you. You'll blow right past the shopping district.
Yes.
And smash through the Leechmere stop and go.
Yes.
You could care less if it's a C or a D or a fucking E.
No, I don't care. I don't care. Be quiet.
You've had enough. But you're going to call it quits when you get on that train, aren't you? Elaine.
Paul.
And when you get off that train, you'll have no idea, nor care where you are. You'll just get off that train and start to walk on the sand or the grass or off a cliff. You'll just walk until you're too tired to go back. And then you'll just sit down on the sand or on the roadside or the grass.
I've never been able to see past this part.
You'll start to think about floating up, Elaine. It's unclear. It's getting darker. But what keeps you from going is that you would love to just talk with somebody, anybody, it doesn't matter, just one more time. But you'll be alone, Elaine. No one has followed you off the train, and no one will go with you. You'll just stretch out, far away from the people, and as far as I can tell, that'll be it for you. Alone to the end. I can see that clear as day.
I don't think I want to talk to you anymore.
Don't do it, Elaine.
Please just leave me alone.
Well, it was nice chatting with you.
Yes, it was a pleasure to meet you. Have a nice day.
I will. You too.
This is the A train coming, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it.
Well, have a pleasant day.
Yeah.
Paul and Elaine watch the A train pull up in front of them. They both stand still. People seemingly move past them on their way onto the train.
When you slid your T-pass through the slot, and you walked down the platform, and when you were standing here waiting for me for the train, were you planning to get on it and go to the end, like I was? Not knowing or caring where you'd end up? Are you still planning to call it quits? Are you, Paul? Are you allowed to walk away from everything, your ex-wife, forever?
I think we may have a lot in common, Elaine.
The doors of the train close and the train moves past them.
We missed it.
We missed it. And there's no telling when the next one is due to arrive.
Coffee?
The end. The platform. A.K.A. Marion Bucker. In case you didn't know, I was playing the crowd around them at that point. This method acting taught me all that. Okay, we're just rolling right along here. We got the right now, right this very moment on this very stage is a puppet show. They're going to take a little bit of time to set up, but then we thank y'all for sticking around with the A.K.A. Theater, whatever. And after them is that raging hot band Bundestag, so y'all hang around.